Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another Football Manager experiment, where today we've got a full Indian core. This is something that was mentioned in the comments to take a look at. So there you go. Make sure you leave a comment down below of anything you'd like to see, and we'll be sure to try and take a look at that. But it is a full Indian core. I'll show you the players and the club, and we'll just kind of go through a few years, see how they affect the team, and how things can progress. So we've got Kidderminster Harriers. They're the team that have been given the Indians throughout the centre. They're in the Vanarama National League North. So we'll be able to see how they get on in the season. If we go to pre-season preview, we can see they're actually predicted to come second. So hopefully we get a promotion early and we go from there. And there's actually a couple of players in the starting 11 of the Media Dream Team that are Indian players that we've included. So what we can do is actually I'll pop them on the shortlist and we can take a look. Now we've got some transferred. They are transferred so that they stay at the club. I didn't do it for Lazanzula. Why? I have no idea, but I didn't. So there you go. Lalianzula is one player. I can't imagine he'll be sticking around for too long, but he's an Indian international, which is good to see. We've also got Brandon Fernandez, another attacking midfielder, winger kind of player. He'll be going to Zebra in 2030, so in around 9 years' time. But we'll see how he can progress the club. In the meantime, we've also got Sunil Chetri, who's the phenomenal 128 cap, 80 goal Indian international striker. Some good finishing and stuff, but penalty taking, leadership, determination, teamwork, and work rate are phenomenal. So hopefully that works out for him. We've also got the goalkeeper, that is Gurpreet Singh Sandhu. Again, looking pretty decent in there, and will be a good goalkeeper for the level that they're at. And then finally, Sandesh Jingan, the centre half, 27 years old, 40 caps and 4 goals for India already. And I mean, bravery, work rate, teamwork, all in there. Some good heading, some good marking as well. So got the bits in there along with tackling that you need, and a bit pacey. And at 6'2", a good height as well. So I mean, you can't complain in the slightest. But there you go. So that is the team. We've got those players in there, and we'll be interesting to see kind of how things go with them in there and how well they can get Kidderminster to do during their time. So with that, let's kind of jump on and see how it goes. Okay, then here we are. We're a year on, and we can see that Kidderminster have made it up. It looks like they actually got through on the playoffs. They won on penalties against Guiseley initially. Then in the semi-final, beat Darlington 2-0. And then finally, in the final, they won 1-0 against Chorley to get the win. And it was Chetri who got that goal to put them through. And we can see here, there's a few players that we're fully aware are in the side. Now, I have noticed that, unfortunately, it is a case that Lalianzwala, I should say, has left the club. We won't worry about that too much, as we have got still the 4 players that are locked into the game or into the club. So let's take a look at how they did get on in the overall season. So they have performed very well. Looking at the FA Cup, they got to the first round where they actually lost to Torquay, unfortunately, on a replay. FA Trophy, they lost to Wrexham 2-1, which again, I mean, they're a massive side with plenty of money, so no surprise there. So did pretty well in the end, getting to the top of the kind of competitive ladder, getting that promotion through the playoffs. Let's take a look at the players that we were having a look at, though. Brandon Fernandez, looks like he's done okay. Have we got any details here? Here we go. Appearance-wise, Jingan got the most appearances in the season at 50 appearances. Not bad. Sunil Chetri did as well. Sunil, though, only not scoring quite as many as we maybe would have liked, but certainly becoming a big player for them. 37 years old, so won't be playing too much longer for them, but 45 games, 4 goals, 3 assists. We can also see that Gurpreet also involved in a lot of the season, 44 appearances there, and Brandon Fernandez as well, 35, 6 goals, 8 assists, a little bit more of a kind of contribution. So looks like they've been very much involved in the season, very much involved in getting that promotion, whether that's providing goals or whatever that might be. Obviously, Sunil continuing to perform. I mean, 39 appearances, 3 goals, 4 assists. He's done all right for them, got them going, and I'm sure his kind of leadership qualities have certainly helped. But let's jump again, continue to take a look if they can continue that rise with the Indian core or if they're going to be limited to the National League. Okay then, so we are actually 2025 now. Thought we'd have quite a big jump really to get to this stage, so 3 years. But Kidderminster have actually got relegated from the National League. Now, that said, how have they got on previous to that? Because obviously they must have been here a couple of years, right? So they hit 14th actually. So their first season up, they managed to hold on, just about scraped, staying in the division, getting 52 points, 2 points clear of the drop. So they stayed in the Vanarama National League. They did take the step up, managed to get up to 14th in the league. But unfortunately, wasn't quite enough this time round, dropping all the way down to 21st, just losing out on survival by 1 point in the end, which means they do go back down to the National League North, I believe. I mean, it could be the South, depending on, obviously, the clubs and the players that are involved there. Doesn't look like many of the players are still involved. Actually, that's not true. Jingan and Fernandez are still there. Let's take a look, though, otherwise. Chetri still getting game time. He's 40 years old now, but still getting that game time for them. How's he got on over the few seasons? I mean, 2 or 3 goals a season. Not fantastic, really. Looking at Brandon Fernandez, the next one up with the number of games he's played. Still contributing, that's for sure, and certainly played quite a few games in the National League for them. Done okay, got a few assists in that one when they went up to 14th in the table. Most games he's played for them. Then we can see Sandesh Jinghan, the centre half that's come in. He's been consistent throughout, doing okay for them, not too shabby at all. Fortunately, will be playing in the National League North next year. 31 years old though, so is kind of coming to the end of his time. Same as Fran Fernandez, who's 30. But you've also got Gurpreet Singh Sandhu, who's 33 years old, still playing lots of. He's the first team player, goalkeeper, to be honest, by the looks of things, and done okay. This most recent season, not so much, considering. I mean, I guess it's because he's obviously conceded a few goals to get him relegated, but it wasn't necessarily his fault, of course. So again, we'll jump one more time to get to the end where they'll be transferred out, but we'll be interested to see if they manage to fight back up, or if this is kind of it. It was good to see the Indian players involved, but I'm not sure there'll be as much now over the next 5 years. Okay then, so there we are then. 2030, we're at the end of our time in the experiment, but they're sitting in 10th of this season in the Vanarama National League North. Let's take a look at how they've kind of got on over the years. Season before that was 11th. Season before that was 7th, so at least they were looking like they were fighting further up. 12th and 8th there, and obviously the season before they were up in the top division. So they were fighting for the playoffs for a little bit, but it looks like as soon as those Indian players kind of dropped off with their ability due to age, they haven't played, and it's shown. 45 years old Sunil Chetri. Yeah, there you go. You can see when he's just stopped playing for them in the National League North when they got relegated. Let's take a look at Sandhu. Did he play much? No, again, completely dropped off as soon as they got relegated. I guess it's work permit issues. Jing'an, again, yeah. And I'm guessing it's the same for Brandon Fernandez as well. Of course, there you go. So there's obviously a work permit issue. As soon as they got relegated, they weren't able to use the boys that were Indian, meaning that they got a bit stuck. But there you go. We will leave it there. A little bit of an interesting one today. I just thought it would be cool to see how some of these Indian players would get on in the National League, well, I guess North and National League, to see how if they're able to push teams up the divisions. They did okay for the first few years, but obviously age is a factor in life and does contribute to certain aspects. But there you go. We'll leave it there. Thank you for watching. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment of anything you'd like to see in future episodes of Experiments. And with that, I'll catch you in the next one.